Hello and welcome to Gearhead 704. I'm Matt, and guys, today we are back at Fox Mustang Restoration. You can see we've got Fox bodies here, over there, Nemesis back there. We come here a lot, in case you don't know, we come here a lot, but today is kind of neat because we're gonna show you a car that's been here. You might have seen it in the background of the videos, but the owner of this car found out about Fox Mustang Restoration through my channel. Kind of really neat, right? And so Matt has had his convertible, an 87 GT convertible, for a little while. The owner's name is Ron. So Blue Knight 75 on Instagram, check it out if you want to see more pictures of the car. As you guys know, occasionally we do an everything wrong with my Fox body video. You guys seem to really like those, but today it's a little different. We're gonna do everything fixed. So this is a car that has been in the shop here. And you know what, without further ado, let me just go ahead and get into it. I'm gonna bring in Ron, and he is seeing his car for the first time today. So let's get his reaction, and then Matt's gonna talk us through everything that he did to the car. So let's get into it. All right, here we go, guys. I'm here with the owner. Hey, Ron, welcome to the channel.
Hey, Matt. Hey, everybody.
Thanks for being here. I know you watch a lot of Fox Body stuff on YouTube, right?
Yes. Yep. Yeah. Love your guys' channels. Love Gearhead 704.
Well, I appreciate that.
If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have found Fox Resto, so thank you.
That's actually pretty cool that you found that. I think you're one of the first people that actually found out because of the shop and everything from the videos, which is kind of really neat, honestly. Yep. You are a Fox Body enthusiast as well, right?
Yes.
Like, this is not your first rodeo with the Fox Body.
No, sir. No. Back in my early 20s, had a 93 notchback. As everybody knows, you know, somebody's always had that one car that you wish you would never have sold. Yeah. You still dream about it, and that 93 notchback was one of those cars I wish I would have kept. It was. Yep. It was, okay. 5-speed, black interior,
505 black interior, what?
Yes.
That's like a holy grail for many people.
Yes. Actually traded it in to a Nissan dealership in Raleigh years ago for a Frontier. Oh. Worst mistake I ever made. Yep.
It's happened to the best of us. It's okay. Yes. My dad's truck's out back. I don't know if you saw the video before, but so I was lucky enough to find it and get it back. But you still have the Fox Body bug, obviously.
Absolutely.
Because you got another one.
Absolutely. It's taken me a few years off and on to find the right one, and luckily, you know, a few years after looking, I finally found the one that just called out for me. So, all
right. Well, I know you haven't seen it in a little while, so we're going to let you go ahead and do that. So let's take a look.
First thing that pops. That's, I mean, that's
oh yeah, you had those powder coated, right?
Yeah. You don't want to paint those. They're originally powder coated from the factory, and if you paint them, the convertible top will wear through them in about 2 months.
See, Matt knows everything. He knows everything, Ron.
Yes, he does. That's why it's here.
Ron, you've now seen your car for the first time. Actually, you just went through a bunch of stuff with Matt on it. So
yes, absolutely stunning.
What's your favorite thing so far? Now that he's showing you. Oh, by the way, welcome to the channel again today, Matt.
Hey, nice to see you.
We've seen him here before, so just ignore him. Just ignore you over there. All right. What's your favorite thing so far on the car?
Honestly, just everything about it, all the work that you guys and what Matt and Della and the whole Fox Resto team has done. Yeah. But I have to say, really, the biggest thing to me is...
I think I know. I saw this earlier. Check this out, guys. Look at the door. The door's open. Opens and shuts. It didn't do that before.
It wasn't like that before. No. It was not even close.
Matt, what'd you do?
What did I do?
Yeah, why does it... Can I try? Let's see.
I'm sorry, I fixed it.
Oh, there we go. What was that, just like some WD-40, right? That's what we'd use at home, or I would anyway.
Absolutely.
Yeah, spray some lube in there and be done.
Was it not opening at all, or what was?
Door hinge pins were worn out, so the door is sagging quite a bit, which was allowing it to not line up with the striker bolt. So it would kind of impact the striker first and then pick the door up, so it's like hitting that bushing with the hammer. And then once we got that done and aligned up, we went ahead and did all the weather stripping. We also got the
replaced it, or
we replaced the weather stripping. We got it all adjusted correctly. We got the front and rear windows adjusted properly to work together.
Because you have to do both, right? You need to do
all of that works together. You cannot do part of it without all of it, because it just won't work. You know, we pay attention to trying to get the glass to seal 100% around. You can see the glass,
way better than Target.
The glass tucks in. Yeah, look at this right here. That's what that lip is made for. They got that lip on that part. Look, it tucks right into that glass.
You got to see my car, Ron. It doesn't do that.
I haven't got to that way. I got to that.
No, we've been a little busy. So there's my Nemesis back there somewhere. Anyway,
it's quite a bit of work. You know, just because the cars are getting old and they got a lot of worn components. And if you don't replace all the worn components, they won't work together properly.
Well, one of the things I know too from my car and other cars is weather stripping. You replace that. The adjustment is the key. You could replace it, and things could still not close or seal, right?
Right, and yeah, so not only do you have to get everything lined up and working properly, the weather stripping is adjustable. That's why it doesn't have locating pins. You've got to have it all maneuvered just right to work together. And if one piece is off, again, you know, you're going to get the leak there, and it could lead to all pieces being off.
Convertibles are the easiest by far, right, Matt?
Oh yeah, yeah, they're great.
You see, he said that with almost confidence.
Yes, yes.
These are literally the worst. Absolutely, right, Matt?
It is a lot of work. It's not necessarily hard work, but it is a lot of work.
It's labor, right? Basically,
it's labor. Yeah, the parts overall are, you know, fairly inexpensive. It takes a considerable amount of hours because not only do you have to rebuild all the components and replace all the weather stripping first, you got to adjust the door, then you got to adjust the door glass, and then you got to adjust the weather stripping. A lot of times you got to start over because you get door glass adjusted and you get the weather stripping to where you think it's right. And now the door glass isn't lining up quite right. Then you start over again. Yeah. So, you know, it's a lot of experience, a lot of work, but it can be done.
And maybe one day, we kind of talked about this, we might actually do my car, right? On this one.
Yeah, maybe I should do a video on how to do this on your car.
There we go.
There you go.
I'm a fan of that one. No, that's cool. So, I mean, the door actually shuts and opens properly. And Ron, also, one thing I know, he and Della both, they were telling me, basically, they're like, this thing seals good. Because they've ridden in Tar Heel.
Yes.
So you should enjoy driving in the rain if you...
Absolutely, be able to wash it and not have to worry about putting rags or towels all around it. To be able to watch it, yeah. So
I see why you're excited about this. This door opening and shutting like this is many things all together working correctly, so that's pretty cool. Matt, what's some of the other things you guys did? Let's just run through the car real quick. I know you've already been over it with Ron, but for the viewers of the channel, let's kind of go through some things of what you did here. We're gonna start with exhaust because we've also, Ron, you haven't heard it crank up yet, right?
No, sir.
So we're keeping that, right? We're keeping that from him.
And here's the thing, his exhaust, I worked extra hard on it. I even went brand new headers out of the box. Of course they were twisted, they weren't going to seal. I actually drove up
Let's look at the headers.
Yeah, I drove up to Kannapolis Engine just to plane the header flanges so I could get 100% seal. Because I can guarantee this, if I wouldn't have planed that, it wouldn't have sealed.
Then you have exhaust leaks.
Yeah, massive exhaust leaks. So
you know what's interesting is when we put the engine that's now in Tar Heel, we were building it for Nemesis, we got the same headers out of the box. No issues. Mine's still fine, but just sometimes that happens, I guess.
Right, and I do check them. I checked this one before I put them on. I've actually got a planing table. I got some sandpaper on. It's not powered. I got to sit there and do it myself, but I can at least check. And, you know, I ran it on there a couple times and I flipped it over. And the whole flange was completely twisted on both of them. It was literally making a little bit of contact on one tip and then all the way on the other side making contact on the opposite tip, meaning it was twisted. And it actually took quite a bit of sanding. Adam over at Kannapolis Engine hooked us up on that. I drove it up there one morning and he sat there and quite a bit of sanding. It got to the point to where they got too hot to touch. We had sanded them so much, but we got them planed, we got them flat, and now that gasket seals 100%. And the cool thing is you can hear that in the exhaust.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds really
Ron, you're gonna hear that in a second. So I know you're getting excited there.
Here we go.
But you get that sealed exhaust, all that gases are flowing out, and you get that right Flowmaster sound with everything going out properly.
So he did get Flowmasters. Before that, you just had regular exhaust manifolds on here, I believe. Stock, okay. Was it all stock exhaust or?
Stock manifolds, stock H-pipe, just with Flowmaster dumps.
Okay. Yep. And you changed, you got we're new end to end here, right?
Yeah, all the way from headers to tailpipe.
So what else did you do under the hood though, Matt? It got some new headers and...
It had some oil leaks, the valve covers had already been done, but his timing cover and water pump was leaking, so we did that. We did the oil pan gaskets. We shortened the spark plug wires. He had a good ignition system on there, but he had those wires that were all over here. So
the typical what you see just laying over everything, right?
Yeah. So, you know, I always do this to make sure that, number one, they're not rubbing up and shorting out against stuff, and it just looks better.
It does look a lot better.
Yeah, we got the factory combs on it. We did the combs that mount onto the valve cover studs. Yeah. And the biggest and most important part about this is we actually shortened each wire. We custom cut each wire to match each cylinder to get the proper amount of routing out of the wires. And that's how I'm able to get it nice and tidy and clean like this and not have it like a spider web.
And it fits. And that's what we did the same thing that's on the engine in Tar Heel Fox right now too.
Yeah, so. That's right.
In fact, I think there's a how-to on that. I think I did that one as a how-to.
That's a good point.
Yeah, so
I think we did.
Check that video out. It's somewhere in my 307 videos.
That's been a long time ago.
Yeah, it has. It feels like it probably is years ago. Anyway.
Yeah. Retrofitted the AC. He's got a factory AC system on it. Somebody had previously replaced the accumulator. Compressor and everything else is original. Wasn't sure if it was going to work or not, so I recommended him just to go ahead and let's replace the O-rings, do an evac and recharge, and see how it goes. Because a lot of times the original systems are going to be just fine. My original 85 system, hadn't ran in 10 years. I just did O-rings and it's been cold for 2 years.
That's all we did on Tar Heel too, I believe.
And it's still cold too.
Yeah, it's super cold.
So a lot of times if it's just not working, Fords, 90% of the time, if you got a leak, it's an O-ring.
That's
and
great.
Those are easily replaced.
Yeah. How many miles is on this? I forgot.
I'm saving right around I think it's around 113.
Okay. So, you know, these are kind of typical things. This you had to do maintenance stuff, right?
Yeah, and this is one of the great things about this car is like it's super straight. We did the alignment, so I checked some of the frame angles. There's no issues there, so it's never been in an accident that I could tell.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's super straight, super clean. It's just another one of those situations where great car that's never been maintained. But the great thing about that, if it's never been maintained, it also hasn't been messed with.
All the original parts.
Right. All the original parts, but more importantly than the original parts, nobody's been in there messing it up and making things worse. Other than that, I mean, this is a great car to work on. We did a lot of maintenance work.
Guys, he does have the pony rims on here, even though it's 87, but Ron, as it's going up, you are planning on something else pretty soon, right?
Yes, the chrome ponies will be going on hopefully next week. So,
next week?
Yes,
all
hopefully
right.
Next week, chrome ponies, and that will be it for a while.
Okay. Then you're just going to drive it and enjoy it?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Nothing wrong with that.
We've got, what, Mustang Day coming up.
Yeah.
I saw that. So
actually, that's great. Jen went right through the background when you said that, so she'll be happy we can plug that real quick. On April, I think it's 16th, is it? 16th, okay. They're gonna have everybody meet here at the shop. It's like a swap meet, right, Matt?
I have no idea, I just work in the shop.
Yeah. I think it's something like that. But maybe we'll get Jen on here for a second to tell us exactly, but yeah, I think you're right, Ron.
April 16th, and then traveling to what mountain is
Morrow
that?
Mountain. We're doing a cruise.
Oh, that's the cruise in too.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more of not a cruise in than a cruise out, maybe.
Okay. One way or another, I'll be here. So that's what I was gonna say. Jen, it's a cruise in or a cruise out on the 16th? April 16th, yes.
Oh, yeah.
See, we caught her. Say it real quick. What's going on?
Okay, so we are celebrating National Mustang Day, and it's basically going to be like a cruise in, so please bring your Foxes. We have priority paved parking for the Foxes. Any vehicle is welcome, just, you know, we have a special spot for the Foxes. So we'll have a lot of those here. Swap meet, so whatever, you have some stuff laying around your house that's been collecting, you've been switching things out in your car, you want to get rid of that old stuff, bring it out. There's no charge to sell anything. Anything used is fair game or NOS, whatever, bring all that stuff. And then afterwards, something new that we're doing, we're actually going to take a cruise up to Morrow Mountain. So it's going to be a ton of, mountain. For people that have been to real mountains, this is not a mountain, but it's a really cool spot, almost just like a cone, and we'll just like swirl our way all the way to the top, and then once we get there, there's beautiful views. There's a great place where we can put our Foxes in front of.
Oh, maybe a picture or something, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's the foothills, so it's not way up there, but it's a great view. It'll be fun to like just cruise with everybody, get to the mountain, and just like hang out. Yeah, so that's pretty much wraps up the day, but it's just going to be a fun day of Foxes. And
that sounds like a lot of fun. Yeah, so how far is that, the cruise from here?
Yeah, it's probably maybe 35-40 minutes.
Okay, not bad at all. What time on the 16th? 10 a.m. probably?
I think it's 10 to 2, and then we leave after that to go on the cruise.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thanks for filling us in. Actually, Ron mentioned it. So we were like, okay, and then you walked right by.
Oh, is he coming?
Yes, Ron is coming. So thanks for plugging that, Ron. We got Jen now, so we got all the info. See, he's doing my job, Matt. He's plugging stuff. All right, we are underneath the car now, and Matt, looks like we got a brand new BBK H-pipe.
Yeah.
High flow cats.
Did the BBK shorties, the BBK H-pipe with the cats, and we did a Flowmaster cat back.
Let's back up a little bit.
Yeah.
We got some brand new Flowmasters with the 2.5-inch tailpipes, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Coming out, and I always love where the GTs dump out underneath the bumper. Yeah, I actually do.
Off the ground a little bit.
I kind of miss that a little bit. Yeah. It sounds a little better. Dumps,
you
I
can
guess.
still put it on there. It just look weird.
It looked weird, yeah. So I'm gonna skip that. What else did you do underneath here?
We rebuilt the rear end. It had some pretty excessive wear on it, to the point to when we poured the fluid out, it had a metal slurry in it.
Oh, okay. I know all about that. Yeah, I was gonna say. See, I've seen that several times. Lucky me. Lucky me, Ron. Lucky me.
But yeah, we did a full overhaul on the rear end. Spider gears. What is it? Spider gears, full bearing kit, ring and pinion, clutch packs. We did the clutch packs, new axles. So got a full rebuild there.
What ring and pinion did you go with?
I think it was 373. No, that was the other car.
355.
Oh, 355s. Okay.
Yes.
Yep.
What did it have before? Do you remember? Or
355.
Okay, so same thing.
Yeah.
All right. So he knows what that feels like.
A full brake overhaul as well, front and rear, and master cylinder and booster.
Oh, wow.
Pretty much everything but the brake, the metal brake lines and the proportioning valve. Emergency brake cable, so everything's working good there. We also did the U-joints. The factory U-joints were, well, they were factory, they were original.
Right.
So we put some good replacements in there, a good greasable or serviceable U-joints.
Still stay with the drive shaft, right? Just replace the U-joints?
Yeah, we just stayed with this. You know, I took her on a test drive. I did not have that vibration, that typical drive shaft vibration, so I didn't see a point in recommending that.
Wait a second, hold on. So wait, you don't just make recommendations just because? And like maybe people spend the money?
No.
No? Oh, wow.
Not usually. I'm weird. We did do a clutch in it. Well, its clutch was actually original. It was almost completely worn out. The throwout bearing was kind of seizing up a little bit. Even the clutch cable had an issue. I had 2 issues with the clutch. I thought it was just the cable. When we pushed the cable down, it actually binds. So you put pressure on it, it'd go a little bit, and it would bind, and more pressure, and all of a sudden it would jump and go further. So we put the cable on, it eliminated that, but it didn't eliminate the stiff cable or the stiff pedal. So at that point, we looked a little bit further and looked into the clutch area. Bearing retainer on the transmission was just dry and dark.
Okay.
So we ended up pulling out, and good thing we did. We thought we had a little bit of life on that clutch left, but when I pulled it out, we're basically at the end. You know, the original clutch, it lasted quite a while.
Yeah, 113,000 miles. So.
Yeah. So now, we machined the flywheel. I put a OEM manufacturer clutch on there. I even tried using a Ford clutch, and it didn't work. It was bad out of the box. The original manufacturer who made the clutches for Ford back in the day, and they're still in business, so I bought one of those.
Oh, really?
Put those in there, so we actually got an OEM quality clutch in here.
What is it still called, Ford clutch, or what is it?
No. They're Luke branded. LUK is the brand. It seems to be the only clutch nowadays that is made correctly. Biggest thing that I look for there is the spring fingers on the pressure plate. You want them nice and even. If they're different levels, they're going to cause your throwout bearing to wobble, and it's going to take out every bearing in that driveline.
Do I see new control arms?
Yeah. We did suspension.
New springs too?
No, the springs were already in there. He had iBox springs in there, but he had original ball joints and control arm bushings, which bushings were dried out, split. Yeah, the ball joints, you know, they're worn out because they're original from '87.
Yeah.
So
I had my original from '89 in mine when we replaced it. So
yeah.
New struts and shocks, or
no, he had already had those done. So
okay.
I didn't actually. This is one of the first ones we haven't done a full suspension overhaul on. We just did a partial, just what it needed.
Yeah.
No reason to
wait a second. You just did it again.
Hey, no reason to replace it if it's not broken, man.
All right, now you're not replacing the drive shaft and the suspension, all the suspension parts, just because. Just because. Wow.
Just because.
Just saying, guys. All right. So anyway, continue.
Okay. Along with that, we did the steering rack. He actually had steering rack was leaking, had a little bit of play in it, and I believe the pump was a little noisy. What a lot of people don't know, you cannot put the clear power steering fluid in these systems.
A lot of people don't know.
I know. That's why I'm saying it like this.
I did that, Ron, just so you know, recently.
If you do that and you bring it to my shop, I'm going to say, okay, now you're going to buy a whole new power steering system because you just contaminated it and, you know, mixed it up. So I'm supposed to use Type F automatic transmission fluid, the old, 50s, 60s, maybe even 40s automatic Ford transmission fluid. That's
my truck outside uses that too, honestly.
Yeah. Full rack and pinion power steering tie rods, and replaced all the oil pan gaskets, or replaced the gaskets, rear main.
Did you pull the engine to do that, or no?
I did not on this one, no. Okay. I actually built an engine cradle. I tried doing it before with taking the transmission out previously. That didn't work a whole lot. Believe it or not, the fastest and easiest way I found to do these is I put an engine cradle, like I said, I built an engine cradle, put it up on the frame rails, and then I hooked the engine, jacked the engine up a little bit, hooked the engine up to it. So I just leave the engine completely hooked up and let it hang, and then I drop the entire suspension and K-member. Basically pull the bottom of the car out, let the engine hang above me, and then this way the oil, everything's right there. Pop the oil pan bolts out, do the gasket, do an oil pump, throw it back up, and then put your K-member back in. It sounds like a lot of work, but with the right tools and you know, a good lift, it's really not that bad.
Okay.
Probably
it seems
good.
Better than taking the whole engine out.
Yeah. I mean, again, it's not hard work, but it's a lot of work. So it's probably about 4 or 5 hours worth of work to do all that, to do the oil pan gasket. But there's really no other way to do it unless you pull the motor out.
Well, the only thing dirty under here now is the transmission.
Right.
You guys, you can clean that up. What's going on?
Other than that, I mean, you know, it was a lot of mechanical work, a lot of maintenance that we did. Honestly, I think she runs and drives great.
Well, that's awesome. You didn't have to do anything to the interior, right?
Not so much to the interior itself, but we had to pull a lot of the interior out initially to repair all the quarter windows and the door windows. Brake boosters, so we had to pull the steering column to access the brake booster bolts. So we took a lot of it apart, but it's back together now.
Well, that's good. Since you're picking up your car, it's good it's back together, right, Ron?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Well, enough delaying for him and the viewers. I think, Matt, we should probably let it down and let him hear it fire up. What do you think?
Oh, is he wanting to do that today?
All right, let's go ahead and do it, guys. Guys, while we were getting that on the ground here are some of Ron's used parts. One of the things we didn't mention, fuel pump was replaced. Also, we've got, it looks like the distributor was replaced. I see a power steering pump in here. Did you guys replace that too? Do you know?
Sir.
Okay. And also you're saying alternator got replaced. And so you've had a lot of maintenance stuff done.
Yes. Yeah, a lot of maintenance things that I didn't feel comfortable myself doing. So I know my limits, and that...
I mean, that's good. It's better than just jumping in there and breaking stuff.
Yes.
So, trust me, I know all about that. But yeah, so you guys did a lot more than what Matt mentioned then. So, and your goals, you were just telling me, Ron, were just to, jump in and drive it, enjoy it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's definitely not going to be a daily driver, just once in a while, and something that I can you know, give it to my kids and, you know, keep in the family for hopefully a very long time.
That's awesome. You can have the peace of mind now knowing you had all this done and you don't have to worry about it, right?
Yep,
At least for a while.
Absolutely.
So,
yes.
That's cool. And he does do a lot of the work. Guys, he does do a lot of the work himself. Like, you do the valve cover gaskets, you do the radiator. So it's not that you don't do anything, but, you know, some jobs it's a little easier to get somebody else to do. Right?
Absolutely. You know your limits, and I know where my limits are, and that was about it.
Well, that's good to know them. So that's good to know them. All right, I think we're going to push the car back and let Ron here fire it for the first time. So let's do it. Uh-oh. He'll figure it out.
Hold on, maybe I killed the ignition.
There it is.
She sounds good.
She sounds neat.
Yeah.
First fire. It's nice and deep.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Stand right here between two. This is where you want to stand, right here.
Sounds good.
Sounds mean.
Yeah. Like Matt was saying, that's how a Fox body should sound.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
He's back. Ron, you're back from your first test drive. You're smiling.
What? Completely different car. Completely different car.
You
It's
mentioned
amazing.
the clutch, right? Was one of the things, and
Clutch is like butter now. Before, it's night and day.
a lot more pressure
Brakes,
to push it down.
A lot less pressure to push down. Now you can do it with the finger. The steering is just so much tighter. The brakes stop on the dime.
Yeah.
It's literally, it's a different car. Different car.
Yeah.
Yep.
Are you glad you brought it here?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You came in with a big smile. I wish, guys, he came in and we talked first all about it, and I was like, oh, I got to get on camera. So, but that's really cool.
Yeah.
You know, that moment. I remember too, like with Tar Heel Fox, you know, when I first started up here and everything, that first drive, it just, it's a neat feeling.
It is,
right? Yeah.
It is. It's almost like buying a different car, but it's the same car, but
You still got the good looks.
yes, absolutely, just a different car. So thank you again, Gearhead 704.
Oh.
Thank you, Fox Resto.
Definitely,
Thank you, Della Fox Resto.
Yeah,
thank
she
you,
put a lot of
Tiffany.
time.
Thank you, everybody, for everything.
Hey, Tiffany's up there.
So thank you all very much.
Well, thank you. Thank you for watching the channel and supporting us on here. And I'm really glad. It's been cool to see your car in the shop. And I'm finally glad we got to do this video because I've been looking at it.
Absolutely.
But I haven't been talking about it much on the channel. But I've been watching. Matt's been telling me that weather stripping is what they would not shut up about. So I hope you're really going to enjoy that because they were proud of that one.
Yes, absolutely.
Cool. Well, we appreciate you're on. And thanks for
sir.
sharing your car here on the channel.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching. So yeah, there you go. Stock Fox bodies can still be a ton of fun. And they can sound pretty good too, as you saw with Ron's car. So that's what Matt does here at the shop. If you're also interested in getting your car done here, you can call them up. I will have their website up on the screen, or you can also, you know what, I'll go ahead and put their phone number up there too. So if you want to, give them a call, see if you want to get your car in here for some work. They're in Locust, North Carolina, near Charlotte. But that's gonna do it for this one. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, please hit the like button. If you're stopping in for the first time, please subscribe because I do upload one time a week now. And we'll see you here next time on Gearhead 704. Well, let's see that. I know he's making Juan. Making Juan. Who is Juan? Is this anyway? Sorry, these are bloopers. Hi, Juan. Welcome to the show.
Hola.
Yes, let's go get some Mexican. Oh man.
Actually, like a car show, which is like cruising. Sorry, I didn't mean car show. Let me start over.
Yeah, let's try it. I got lots of bloopers today, so it's all good. Oh, I'm gonna trip over this stuff. So all the lighting. All right, there we go.
Let me move up here so you don't die. We may be out of gas.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah.
You got to sell the car now. You can't afford gas prices.
Can't afford gas prices are at the roof.
Yeah. Oh well, that's the end of Gearhead 704. Have a great day, guys.